Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for my Flash trailer breakdown. Flash begins its 7th season on March 2nd, so we're just under a month away. So let's get into this trailer that they just dropped a couple days ago.
Our greatest weapon against darkness isn't our superpowers, humanity.
So in this first part, we have Barry getting one of the good old-fashioned talks from Joe West that have really become a staple of the series, with them now talking about Barry going to defeat Mirror Master and save Iris with a very limited amount of power left. Our very first image of the trailer shows blue lightning, which we typically relate to Zoom and the Velocity drugs. Barry did use some last season, but I don't see that storyline progressing much further because the goal is to make this new Speed Force, and I don't think that they're going to make Barry out to be like a speed addict like Zoom. I just don't see things going in that direction. Instead, I think this may just be that first spark of lightning generated by the new Speed Force, or some new speed boost in a way. It looks like it's being transferred from one person to another. I do expect to see Reverse Flash, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So this could be some kind of transfer. Blue lightning is also a lower speeded lightning, so that could be why it's blue here. We have Cisco armed in a Dark Star Labs. I imagine that this is mid-battle with the Mirror Master in the lab. We know from a comment he makes later that she can move through any reflective surface, so maybe he's attempting to cut back on those reflective surfaces with the lights out. The next scene has me very curious, with the chamber usually used to hold Flash's suit now holding Barry himself. Initially thought that maybe this was a look at how they're making the new Speed Force, but you can tell from the monitor here that he's still only at 1% Speed Force remaining. So I think that this is more likely a place where they froze him to keep him in some sort of stasis that will allow him to not use any Speed Force, to conserve as much as possible. And there's going to be something happening in Central City around this time. You can see it on the map. I think this might be right as he gets to face off against Mirror Master for the first time, and I think all the scenes with Mirror Master and Barry are all from the same showdown, which will deplete his Speed Force prior to him going into the Mirrorverse.
And our love for each other.
I know this is right.
Have faith, son. We will get Iris back.
Oh God, I'm still here.
Barry and Iris seemingly having a romantic dinner of Big Belly Burger, but of course this goes sideways as she realizes that she's still in the mirror dimension. She is having a lot of headaches, and we have the same moment again from the finale where she sort of dissolves into just a light being and disappears. Oh, and Sad Barry. There's lots of Sad Barry in this trailer.
It's all powerful.
It's not just mirrors she's manipulating. It's any reflective surface.
Captain West requesting backup.
I called in a little bit of extra muscle.
Anyone can save the world with their might. It takes a real hero to do it with his heart.
In this clip, we had Barry meeting with someone that has glasses. I tried to brighten this up and get an idea of who it is. It's somewhere with graffiti, and he's meeting with someone about Mirror Master and maybe looking for help, a special weapon, parts to build the Speed Force. I can't really place who this is. If you guys have any ideas, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will try to do a video about that, or comment back, or feature you on my podcast. But I would love to hear from you guys what you think or who you think this is. Mirror Master has taken on his final form, and I actually really like her suit, even though this has not been my favorite storyline. Then it's Cisco and Chester teaming up to talk about how powerful Mirror Master has become and that she can now use reflective surfaces. Sue is in an unauthorized location and may have been caught. This looks like Joe West, so she could have been caught by him or is here with him. I think it's more likely getting caught because she is in uniform, and it looks like she's looking at a display of badges. I think this is most likely placing her in CCPD, breaking in for some information on Ralph or whatever storyline they're going to have her doing this season while Ralph is being recast and that whole storyline plays out. There is this hint for the big showdown with Joe calling in for backup and then Barry running over and then having Frost there as backup. Frost and Eva really haven't gone against each other because Frost was injured last season to allow for the actress to take time off so she could have her baby, but I do expect that she's going to be back in full capacity. Barry's running and then he's crying. But the most important part here is that Wells is telling him that this is going to be one with heart and not powers. So I expect a different showdown compared to what we normally have that kind of ends Mirror Master. But I think this is after the Mirror Master showdown, but before he goes into the Mirrorverse.
Open a portal to the Mirrorverse.
I'll never stop fighting to reach you.
We then have the scenes here for this plan of Barry's to enter the Mirrorverse. It looks like they found a way to target Iris within the mirror dimension. He does make it in and we see him kind of roll in. He doesn't have a suit on, and I think this may be after he loses his speed attempting to take on Mirrorverse directly, like I just said. He gets shot here in the back, and I think that this is part of that Mirror Master showdown. And then we get him crying, and I think this is right before that pep talk with Wells.
Product of your broken mind.
Give me back my wife! You only have 1% of your speed left. Let's make it count.
Here we have Iris losing her mind, duplicating or creating this mirror version of herself. She has to then run from it for several clips. There's her running, her hiding. Eva then destroys a picture of her and Joseph Carver. She really hates that guy. I mean, it is her husband that basically left her in the Mirrorverse. I think this is more of the showdown scene with Eva and Barry waking and then Eva yelling. Eva's then shooting at someone, which I actually think is Frost, since a moment later we see this. It looks like Frost did get on her at some point though. She basically clotheslines her. Chester reminding Barry that he only has 1% left before I think he goes off to the Mirrorverse. He does slip on the ring, which, like I said, I think he goes into the Mirrorverse with the ring on in regular clothes like we saw him rolling a second ago. So he could suit up in the Mirrorverse, but not initially. More sad Barry, and then Iris screaming.
Run, Barry. Run.
Then this best and last clip of the trailer, Barry is running in the pipeline, which I think is when they are trying out this new Speed Force. His lightning is yellow mixed with blue. Again, I don't think that this is a sign of velocity drugs, just a different speed lightning. His eyes do begin to glow, which does make me think that we are seeing him infused with Speed Force, the one that they created. This moment with Harrison Wells, I do think is Reverse Flash. It is just like that iconic line from season 1, and Barry is super emotional. I think because he had to resort to using help from his nemesis, that this is going to be very emotional. He's lost his Speed Force, he lost his wife, and now he has to get help from the Reverse Flash. And they do have that artificial Speed Force machine behind them. I really expect to see all of this in the first 3 episodes because these were supposed to be the last episodes of last season. And I think the outro here holds another Reverse Flash clue because we see the lightning go from yellow to red. So lots of Mirror Master stuff as that comes to a close. We gotta save Iris from the Mirrorverse, and we're gonna get help from from Reverse Flash in getting this artificial Speed Force online. So that's what I expect, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to hear me talk about other DC stuff, you can check out my podcast on Google, the Apple Store, or on Spotify under Mayday Maggie. And then you can also check out my blog where I post daily. It is www.maydaymaggie.com.